Kani kadega Batesi TV, bat pidang pet yaki kubor baman kasni, balawan rasha pi da ka Orange Nissan, lom so po niya Fabricate Shillong, ringkat bat ka BDW International School Nongmansong, Langkarding Shillong. Admissions open now.
Unong yalam jong kaliang Pyrshah kayeng dorbar tauan ke jela Dr. Mukul Sangma ula ong baka Sorkar Meghalaya Democratic Alliance balayalam daga National People's Party kannam Shlan satiaban Mudui Pyrshah yaka Citizenship Amendment Act arajar khat khandai balawan ra daga Sorkar National Democratic Alliance balayalam daga Bharatiya Janata Party. Kani kecingin tho jong Dr. Mukul kalong hadian baka kanhon kinong tho khubor kilakali hatu ke Sorkar jela ka nu neem banbot ya kinuksa jong ke Sorkar Kerala kapala Mudui dangshen hapo kayeng bishar Supreme Court Pyrshah ya ka Citizenship Amendment Act arajar khat khandai. Haka jingi keren bat kilat patai kubor, haka arpok terik ukalan kot arjar arpo. U Dr. Mukul Sangma u balalong teng u menteri rangba barim jong jela, ula ong baka kongres kan nom penslem syu bandawa ya ka Sorkar jela, bakan Mudui Pyrshah ya ka Citizenship Amendment Act.
The state government is trying to convince all of us to agree and accept CAA. It is very clear. So why will they do that? Why should we waste time in asking them to do that? Time is precious. It is abundantly clear, beyond reasonable doubt, that the government has tried to convince all of us. Have you not seen the reply of the Chief Minister during the debate? He has tried to convince everybody, but we are not convinced. We are not convinced because it opens up an unprecedented, dangerous future. The ramification thereof. Because you have to look at, what is the kind of debate that revolved around when the House was being convinced to agree for passing the bill. The Honorable Union Home Minister was piloting the bill, both in Lok Sabha and the upper house. And the narrative to convince the House revolved around a distorted interpretation of the history of this great nation. Distorted interpretation of the freedom movement and the partition thereof after independence. He dared to say, by distorting the history and legacy of this great nation, that the two-nation theory of partition was based on religion. I have a number of times referred to this. This is a very dangerous, distorted interpretation of history. To ultimately engage in another kind of debate to do away with the secular fabric of this great nation. You got my point? That's why we are saying that it is creating a very, very dangerous precedence for the future. I know, as I have heard all the senior politicians who narrated the whole background as things unfolded during the freedom movement and post-independence and the adoption of the Constitution of India. And also when we again connect with the whole deliberations by the Constituent Assembly. Various speeches by different illustrious leaders who ultimately were responsible in giving shape to the constitution of the country that we have today. And how this distortion can actually create a wrong perception. Contrary to what we have heard as we grew up and as we ultimately joined politics and still in circulation. All the leaders of this Northeast, whether the leaders who represented our Garo tribe, Khasi Jaintia tribe, the Mizo tribe, the Naga tribe, and many other tribes, numerous ethnic tribes, how they have been part of the whole engagement. And also many other people from other parts of the country, and how India ultimately culminated to become a secular socialist republic. And this is going to be distorted through this narrative and debate by distortion of the history. That's why we say the CAA is precursor to ultimately change the course of Indian history, and which is not something which augurs well for the nation. The nation must continue to ensure that the whole character of inclusiveness is not diluted under any circumstances, because that is the strength. The nation draws its strength from the huge diversity. Please remember it. Do not try to give it a political color. It's the movement of the people. It's the movement of the people, and how the movement of the people is being attempted to be crushed. You have to look at that angle across the nation. What is important for us to not identify as just, belonging to one particular tribe. We belong to this great nation. Let us identify ourselves as Indian citizens. And let us be concerned for the whole country. What some leaders are trying to do is that, okay, nothing is going to happen even if anything happens outside the boundaries of my state. That's not our approach. When there is a fire in your neighborhood, you will say, okay, I'm fine. We survive as a nation, and we sink as a nation. We're in the same boat. How can you say that, okay, if something happens in Assam, you are not bothered? Okay, you're fine in Meghalaya. It is not like that. You cannot insulate yourself. You talk of legalities. Now, why are we saying about the concern and referring to concern? It's not a fear, it's a concern based on the ground reality which we have seen over the years in the preceding decades. They are reality. We have small ethnic groups across the country, and particularly in the northeastern region. How many small ethnic groups are there in Assam? Don't we have our own Garo brethren in Assam? Don't we have our Khasi brethren in Assam and other states? We do have. We do have. And how different other ethnic minorities, from population perspective, or these small ethnic groups contribute for the progress and prosperity of this great nation because of the inclusive character of this great nation. That is something which must be preserved under any cost. And that is the reason why everybody is voicing their concern. And it doesn't revolve around religion. There is a tendency to, again, give a separate kind of interpretation. That is only by some group of people. Or it is only the Congress who is trying to, engage in this anti-CAA rhetoric. No, it is not. It's the movement of the people.